Hello, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. I am Sam and here with me today is Gab, and we have a special guest, a good friend of ours,
Yeah.
Apo Ferrer. He's a big DLSU fan. He's joining in. Unfortunately, Dale couldn't make it today. But don't worry, we still have a big DLSU fan with us here today. Apo, tell us something about yourself.
Hello guys. So ayun, yes, I am a Lasallian. I was there
Boo!
for 4 years, also as member of the DLSU Animal Squad drummer po ako. So
Yan!
yes, lagi ako nanonood ng basketball kasi nandun kami
Rectigono!
lagi.
Oo. Nandun siya lagi. So talagang nakikita ni Apo first hand yung mga games for nung 4 years na yun. Anong ano ba yon season yon nung pumapalo ka, Apo? Sinong
Ah,
players yun?
Rookie ako 76. So championship season yun pagkapasok ko.
Wow! Nag-flex
Yes.
siya!
Championship
Yeah,
Nag-flex!
na nating
yeah, champion yan.
Teng
Si
year
Jeron.
Embala, Teng.
Yung last year ko, fourth year ko na yun, doon naman pumasok si Embala.
Okay.
So, yun.
Embala, oo
First
nga,
and
tama.
last year
Yung
ko,
first
champion
year,
kami.
champion.
So,
Okay, okay.
for
Nice.
everyone listening, we got Apo because may gusto kaming yung patrash talk sa draft na to. So, pwede dalawang atinista mo yung magda-draft ng Lasal. Yung kailangan may Lasalista. Yung kailangan may guy from the other side. So, that's why we got
Tsaka,
Apo
tsaka
Ferrer.
si Dale was a big fan of Lasal, 'di ba? Bago siya
Oh,
nag-UP. So
yeah.
sayang, pantay sana eh. Dalawang Lasal, dalawang Ateneo, pero wala, minalas. Umulan, nawala ng internet. Nawala ng internet si Dale. So shout out na lang kay Dale. Thank you for giving us more draft choices. Dahil wala ka. Sige, quick before siguro we get into the details of the draft and start the draft, maybe just a quick discussion. I really want to talk about the breaking news, at least for us Ateneo side. Baka good news for Apo, bad news for us. SJ Belangel, the first ever Filipino player to be joining the Korean Basketball League. Quick thoughts lang. Maybe Gab, you can start us off.
Well, yeah, he's going to the Daegu Kogas Pegasus Club in the KBL, whatever
I
that
have no
means.
idea what that
Anyway,
is, pero go
I have no
lang.
idea. So, my thoughts is we instantly went from contending to rebuilding. Diba?
Yes.
Diba? In just
Rebuild
one
talaga.
move, we went, well, nandiyan pa rin naman si Ange and si Dave and BJ Andrade, pero it's a sad move. SJ was a key cog of the team. Siya yung main guy aside on offense aside from Ange. And it's a sad day for Ateneo fans, but I'm pretty happy for SJ. He deserves all of it. I was watching this guy since high school. I knew about it. I knew about him when he came in from Bacolod to first year at yung in Ateneo, and yeah, big leap. 2 years nang nawala sa atin. 2 years. 2 years na siya
Oo nga.
kalaro. But yeah, tiwala na lang kay Fortsky Padrigal.
Fortsky.
Big shoes to fill. He's the only point guard left.
Yeah, I think from a glut of point guards, biglang sobrang nawalan tayong point guard. But as you mentioned, happy for SJ. Sobrang laki nung change din ni SJ, no? Nung first year niya, sobrang turnover prone siya. Lagi siyang nape-press ng Lasal, no? Naalala ko.
Yeah,
He
hinahunting siya
couldn't
ng
play.
Lasal.
He couldn't play nung time na yun, nung first year siya. Like, talagang he couldn't get inside the court because every time he got inside, they would like hunt him down. Pero ngayon, first player to ever play in Korea, di ba? So that's such an honor and a big opportunity for him. So happy for him. Hopefully, he still comes back and plays for Gilas. Really want to see him play for the Philippines more than Ateneo para sa Pilipinas din.
Actually, I have a big rant on that. Remember the PBA was saying that these guys are poaching us so that they won't be able to play for international competitions. Sobrang friendly kayo na schedule ng Korea basketball sa B-League para sa international competition. As in, they just let the players play for their home countries. No contest. It doesn't make sense. So,
I
yeah.
I think Korea is more lenient, Gab. Parang may usapan din ata yung Philippines and Korea kaya mas lenient. Pero sa B-League ata mas mahirap if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken.
So I'm interested to hear
Your
what.
thoughts?
Yeah.
From someone outside the Ateneo community.
Mag-finals na kami!
Yeah, as a Lasal fan, yeah, happy na wala na si SJ kasi top point guard talaga
Bad
ng
trip ka.
UAAP. Top point guard talaga. Pero syempre, similar situation with Balti last year nung kinukuha siya ng B-League. Parang ako, as Lasallian, parang wag muna, sayang naman, di ba? Pero for his growth talaga, mas gusto kong
Oo.
mag-B-League siya. Tapos same with
Yeah.
situation with SJ. Medyo nagulat lang ako na may 2 years pa siya. Siguro with 1 year remaining, pwede na siguro umalis. Pero 2 years pa yun
Pwede
eh.
na.
Tsaka coming off a loss pa.
Yeah, actually, yung sabi ni Sam, he did promise na he will come back stronger. He will take back the crown.
Naalala ko yun eh. Nag-tweet
Can't
siya.
complain.
Nag-post ka.
Nakadalawang championship din siya. Became the main guy. Scored 27 points in Game 3. Can't complain. All right. So,
Yeah,
I think
so looking forward to the new look Ateneo in the next season.
very new look Ateneo. kung mag-finals ulit ang kung mag-finals ulit ang Ateneo, medyo
Bilib.
sobrang bow down na ulit ako kay Tab Madrid. Kasi walang natira sa lineup niya.
Okay, sige. But enough about Ateneo. Today, it's all about Lasal, the DLSU Green Archers. So, fantasy draft tayo ulit. If it's going to be the same setup as before when we did our UP fantasy draft. Pero dun sa mga hindi nanood ng UP fantasy draft namin, please watch it. But just to quickly explain how we're going to do it, snake draft tayo. So Gab will randomize yung order namin and then we'll do a snake draft. So 1, 2, 3 and then reverse yung pagka-draft. We will only pick from season 64 to season 84. Tama, Gab?
Okay. Yeah, we will. So for the UP fans watching this, na bakit season 71 lang yung or season 72 lang yung sa UP? Ilagay nyo online yung mga rosters nyo para masali namin yung hanggang season 64. Shout out to the website Take Aim Sports who had all the lineups.
The complete roster.
The complete lineups yung in their website until 2001. So, in-include namin, they had it online. So, additional rules lang maybe for Apo. You're only drafting the guy in his Lasal years.
Yeah,
So you're not getting Robert Bolick from San Beda. You're getting Robert Bolick
from Lasal.
Or sila Larry Muyang and all these guys.
True.
You're not getting the Letran Larry Muyang. You're getting the Lasal Larry Muyang. Okay? So none of that. And then yun lang. And
anything
no
else?
positions tayo, Apo.
No positions, yeah.
You can draft. You want to go small ball, go ahead. You want to go all bigs, go ahead. That's all you have to know. Like, let's have fun. Trash talk is welcome, which is Ateneo. Dalawang Atenista, isang Lasalista. Trash talk is welcome.
Sayang lugi wala si Dale bad trip. Gab, you wanna do the order na? Randomize mo yung order.
Alright. So, I'll share my screen for transparency.
Sige. So 64 to 84 mas marami-rami yung mga magiging draft options natin. Since tatlo lang kami, we can probably go up to 10 players just like last time. Sino pa ba yung mga players from like the older teams? Umabot kami kanla Ren Ritualo, BJ Manalo, Adonis Santa Maria. So,
we'll
flash
later. The list. Yeah, we'll flash the list for everyone who's watching.
Yeah.
So, do I just...
Teka, let me
Alright.
add you to this team.
Alright,
Okay.
so
Ilang times ka magra-randomize?
how many do you want? 3?
Tatlo?
3 times? Okay.
Sige, sure.
3 times, alright? Uy. That's number 1.
Sige, okay na yan. Okay na
Ah,
yan.
Uy! And number 3. Oops! Lasalista pa.
Uy, bad trip. Talagang
Lasalista pa ang
prayo yung
first pick.
lasalista.
Alright.
Okay, sige, fine.
Okay. Sige, fine.
Fine.
Apple, as our
Yes.
guest of honor in this, as our first guest ever in the Boleros podcast, you get first pick in our DLSU Green Archers draft.
So, pick na ba ako?
Yeah, go. Just
Yeah, go ahead.
make your
Tapos
pick, then
mag-recap na lang tayo after every 2 rounds. So pagbalik sa'yo, Apo, we'll do the recap na lang. Pero
then,
go ahead, make your pick
after
and
every
then
pick,
explain mo lang.
explain, just
briefly.
brief justification why you picked this guy. Go.
Okay, for my first pick, actually gumawa ako ng mock draft Tapos every time talaga, number 1 talaga siya. So, first pick, Benoit Mbala, 2-time MVP. Probably
clear.
the most dominant player ng UAAP.
Bad trip.
Yeah, I expected
Wala.
it. Actually, coming into this, I would have been surprised if Ben Mbala didn't go number 1.
Nagtanong pa ako sa
make-
alumni Like, pina-check ko pa yung mock draft Parang okay. Kahit ano mangyari dito, number 1 talaga, Mbala.
Totoo. Actually, yung cheat code siya. Cheat code.
Yeah.
I was telling it to myself when I was looking at this list, you could make the case that Ben Mbala is the GOAT Green Archer. Mahirap lang. He only played 2 seasons.
2 years, yeah.
2 seasons lang
1-1.
sayang.
Won 1 championship. 2 seasons because he was supposed to play 3, but di ba, he played on a parang guest league or
Nagliga.
something. Yun yung nagliga siya kaya disqualify siya for 1 season.
Bad trip.
Yeah, anyway, I think you could make the case that he's the GOAT. I mean, you put him side by side with any individual LaSalle player the past 20 plus years. I think you'd pick him, Ben Mbala.
Based on talent,
every time,
malayo
yeah.
talaga.
I mean, just see those shoulders. Laki niya na.
Lebron no? Lebron
talaga.
Laro
Tsaka yung kasi nasa training kami. Kasi pag nanonood sila ng training, iba talaga. The power, the strength, ang layo. Kapag ordinary practice lang, iba.
As one of the people watching him from the opposing side, let me just say, nakakainis siya kasi ang daya na may ganun kayong player.
Nakakatakot siyang tao. Yun.
Kasi hindi lang siya malaki. Magaling din siya.
Yeah.
Actually, kung may license siya to take more threes, I think he could have made more. He could have scored more. Siguro sinasabihin lang siya na sa loob ka lang. Pero actually, kaya niya mag-perimeter game. Di ba when he played for Cameroon?
Yeah, sa Cameroon, forward talaga siya, di ba? Pero
forward, yung
with his
perimeter
height,
play.
With his height sa UAAP kasi, kailangan mag-center and wala siyang katapat
Center,
strength-wise
Yeah.
Alam mo yung dunk niya, yung kalaban, yung Ateneo sa finals, yung alley-oop from Thomas Torres. Tapos tumalon lang siya over 30. Tapos, ako talaga nung nanonood ako rin, daya talaga.
One of the few plays na after ng Al-Lasal play, pati yung Ateneo parang, oh shit.
Di ba? Hindi talaga fair. Ba't siya nandito sa UAAP? Ba't siya nasa UAAP?
Alam mo, honestly, I would argue he's probably the best import then in the UAAP. I think just in terms of sheer dominance. Si Ange kasi magaling pero like hindi naman siya the way Ateneo uses him, hindi naman siya yung dominante.
Dominant siya on defense.
Pero si Ben talaga.
Sayang,
Ibang klase si Ben Mbala.
Ben talaga was like super dominant.
So
okay, sige. Bad trip. Ben Mbala off the board. Bad trip.
Well, I would have trusted the Lasallian to make the right pick. I mean, sure ako di siya magpapatalo, and I think with the Benimbala pick, it's medyo yung kailangan magaling yung next pick sa atin sa amin para manalo tayo sa draft na to. Benimbala pa lang
Honestly,
si Apo.
Honestly, sa akin, after Ben Imbala, hindi na clear eh. Kung sino
Actually,
yung mga
jumbled
next
na siya.
picks.
Who else next?
So,
Sam.
it's tough. It's tough. Mahirap, honestly. You can really go with any one of these like 4 or 5 people.
Yes.
Pero siguro I have to go for someone na as legendary as Ben Imbala in the Lasal community. So I think I have to go for the number 2 pick, 4-time champion, always in the mythical team, except 1 year ata. Dead Eye shooter,
Dead Eye.
super clutch player,
I hate you.
great leader, has
you.
the killer instincts, Mr. Ren Ritualo for the number 2 pick. So,
He was my
puro
number
tres
1.
kami, sa labas lang kami.
He was my number 1, Sam.
Talaga? If number 1 pick ka, Ritualo over Ben?
No. Ben. And I'm saying he was after you. If you're gonna pick someone else, I would have picked Ren.
Yeah.
As in,
wala eh. 4-time champion eh.
As in, we talk about guys like in the last draft, like Mix de Ases, Martin Reyes from UP, who were born or played in the wrong era. Ren Netwalo played in the wrong. Feel ko,
actually.
Chong, if he played today's UAAP na halos 33s yung sinushoot nila, he would have averaged 30. Ganun siya kagaling na shooter. I'm sure Apo watched him dati. Sobrang, and if there's one guy na in-idolize ko sa Lasal, it was Ren Ritualo. Kasi, you know me, Sam, alam mo rin, Apo, nakalaro mo ako, diba?
Yeah.
I take a lot of jump shots.
Shooter. Yeah, jump shooter.
Growing up, yung pinapalig ko sa Ren Ritualo, sinasabi ko, I want to shoot like that guy. So, such a beautiful stroke.
Yeah, beautiful jumper.
Diba? Beautiful. Ang galing. Perfect L form in the support. The perfect height ng release. Just turns me on yung watching him shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
Go Sam.
Ganda talaga ng tira niya. And, you know, the killer instinct talaga. May nabasa ako kino-compare siya. Like, para siyang Reggie Miller eh. Alam mo yung clutch talaga na talagang always willing to win. Parang always wants to win in every game. Talagang, it's not just like, marami namang shooters na, shooter lang, ganun. But this guy had everything. Like, he had the leadership skills. He really brought that championship DNA to Lasal and, you know, willed his team to like a 4-peat championship. So, wala ka talaga masasabi sa guy na to eh. I'm like, sobrang complete package din eh. Sayang lang talaga na medyo But to be fair, like, he did really well pa rin kahit sa PBA career niya. Like, solid pa rin yung naging career niya.
I thought he was pretty underutilized sa Philippine team. Parang, how many Philippine teams did he make? Less than 5? Hindi siya kinukuha.
Hindi ako sure. Basta naglalaro siya. Oo.
Kasi we were all focused on getting big guys, you know, the scorers, silang Mark Kagiwa. I thought run Ren Netwalo off all the screens possible. Just get him as many shots as possible. Diba? He was one of those guys na, we talk about Ben Imbala and his imposing presence. Para sa akin, as a kid growing up, ganun yung nararamdaman ko pang si Ren Netwalo na sa floor. Nakakatakot siya kasi feel mo, alam mo si Steph Curry, any shot he takes,
totoo.
feel mo papasok kasi ganun siya yung kagaling na shooter. Damn it.
His
Nice.
jersey is retired. Baka sa mga di nakakaalam. His jersey is retired sa sports complex namin.
He was probably the last one. Lasal retires their players' jerseys. In Ateneo, they don't. But I think he was the
Wala.
last one to have his jersey retired. I'm not sure if there's someone after. Was
Sa basketball siya yung last. Yun.
si basketball siya.
Ah,
Was Mac
okay.
retired or
No. Si ano na, old guys na, si Lim Engbeng. Hindi ko na nga napanood yun. Backman.
Lim Embeg. Shout out to Lim Embeg.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, Gab. Third pick
Okay.
and fourth pick pala.
Okay, so with the third pick of our DLSU fantasy draft, I'm gonna go a different way from how I went in the UP draft. The UP draft, I targeted the big men first because very slim ang slim pickings ng big men sa UP. Pero sa Lasal, I think medyo marami ng big men. But I'm gonna go with my all-time. This has no logic to it. It's just me being emotional and sentimental about this pick. My all-time favorite DLSU player, JV Casio. JV Casio. Okay, I'm gonna
Good
say
pick,
why
good
is my
pick.
I'm gonna say why is my
Worth it naman. Makes sense.
why he's my favorite DLSU player. Same as Ren, nakakatakot siya kasi because he's a damn good shooter at ice in his veins.
Mm-hmm.
So sobrang clutch ni JV Casio. I remember yung finals against UE when UE swept the eliminations sa Lasal Calabria sa finals. Game 1, UE up by 2. And then my dad called it. Yung after nag-time ako si Franz Romano, sabi niya, yung JV Casio is taking this 3. So kaya JV Casio made the 3. What the fuck? This guy! So, I mean, so same as Sam, since Apo has the most dominant guy in this draft, I'm gonna go with a ton of shooting. I'm gonna go with a ton of
Labas na lang. Sa labas na lang.
Labas na lang tayo. Huwag tayo lumaban sa loob. And another thing about JV Cash, you know why I love them so much? Kasi di siya mayabang. Alam mo yun?
Yeah, actually, it's not
face.
the stereotype Lasallian player.
He knows.
Na poging mayabang. Yung mga poging mayabang.
Mga poging mayabang who will come up later in this draft. The typical players Lasal who would really show off that they're winning. I made a big shot. Yeah. He was not it. Ang bait, sportsman-like, straight face lang, walang yabang. Galing. Also, another fact, do you know how to spell his name? Because I've seen, is it JV na an initial?
E.
As in J, the capital J, the VEE, or I've seen it also spelled JAYVEE. I don't know. May ibang ganun eh. Okay, so my first pick is JV Casio.
Just to comment dun sa JV Casio, hindi siya mayabang. I think confirmed yun. Parang I forget which player from Ateneo nagsabi nun, pero parang tinanong siya sino parang first game niya against DLSU, tas parang sabi niya, parang pinakamabait daw na taga DLSU si JV Casio daw. So he was nice to him daw during his first game against DLSU. I forget who said it, basta yun. So confirmed.
Confirmed. See. First pick. I love it. So, snake draft, I'm up next again. So, for my next pick, I'm gonna go. I think I have to go big. I have to go with my guy from this year's team, si Justin Baltazar. Malpi, kahit na-BBM ka, langya ka.
Naisip ko na yun, ma-bring up na yun.
Okay, sige. So, I'm gonna go with Justin Baltazar with my second pick. So, I'm gonna need some length. And I'm sure one of you guys are just gonna pick him. He's just too skilled, the guy, to be left off the ball. Diba? Galing niya.
Perfect siya. Napag-usapan ko rin, perfect siya for a fantasy because of very efficient. Siguro kaya mag 15, 16 rebounds any game, nagba-block. Yeah. Halos video game eh.
Yeah, he's actually like a video. And then one thing I liked about him when he was
can play three positions then.
Yeah, can play 3 positions. Can play the perimeter when he was playing under Tab Baldwin in Gilas. He was playing the perimeter shot a lot of threes, defended wing guys in the international level. So he's kind of a cheat code then. Not as much of a cheat code as Ben Mbala is, but he's close. He's close. Justin Baltazar. Go ahead, Sam. You're up next.
Hirap pa. Mahirap na yung next picks. Just Baltasar was my next pick actually. So
I know it. I know it.
Hindi ko na-expect na kukunin mo siya. Okay, sige. I think for me, sige, I'm gonna go for another guy na very dominant for Lasal. Kailangan ko din ng cutie pie sa team ko eh. So, kailangan maghanap ng cutie pie. And someone who, he didn't have the best team. Like, it wasn't the best Lasal team. Pero, they won the championship that year, nung first year ni Apo. And I think this guy was very crucial to that team. So, I'm gonna go with Mr. Jeron Teng from the
JT.
Converge Fiber
JT.
Xers.
That's such a bad name. When I heard that they were being called the Fiber Xers, sabi ko,
Fiber Xers.
Who the hell came up with this? Anyway, that's for another pod. Pero nakakatawa lang yung pangalan nila. You talk about LeBron. He was just like LeBron during LeBron's early years.
Yeah.
You know,
Lakas eh.
lakas niya, and he couldn't shoot for shit. He's a
Yun
bad
nga yung
shooter.
nakakatawa. He couldn't shoot. Pero alam mo na yung gagawin niya. Pero he can still drive. Tapos
Totoo.
yung pivot
Drive.
game is good.
Yung pivot game, then shot off the glass.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. Sobrang unstoppable.
And
And he
to be fair
wasn't
kay
just a
Jeron,
scorer.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
wasn't-
I was gonna say, especially nung bandang middle to end of his career, he was a good playmaker. Parang dami na niyang, he was averaging like a couple of assists per
Yeah.
game kasi he
Yeah.
knew people would double him tapos he would always make the right decision, drop off or kick out to someone. Sobrang okay siya kasi ano siya eh, na-attract niya talaga yung defense eh. So, I think that was a big improvement in his game later on.
Yeah, he developed yung nagka-mid-range jumper siya nung last year niya. Well, actually, very
Yun din.
perfect na knowing na magsasag off yung mga bumabantay sa kanya and then yung gravity ni Ben, magda-drop din yung mga tao. Very timely yung pag-develop niya ng mid-range jumper.
Yeah, so
Sca-
another
he's
dominant
scary
player
too.
for Lasal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominant. He was scary too because he's so big. You know,
Very
you
muscular.
diba? Ito ang kawa niya, parang wow! Wow, here in Boleros, we don't, do that old school thinking. We appreciate all types of bodies. I love Jeron Teng's body, man. That's a muscular man. Oh, Apo.
Big shot
yeah, go
taker din si Jeron.
Yeah, big shot.
Considering
actually,
wala siyang jumper. Tapos he's one of the
may
few
clutch
guys
plays.
na who could take the final shot pero hindi niya hahanapin yung jumper. Talagang layup talaga tapos nagagawa pa rin niya.
And that short, that short teardrop he had in the lane, yung after his spin move where his defender would be like, oh my god, he's so strong, and then he'll do the teardrop, which is almost money. Yeah, soft touch.
Tama ka, Apo.
In the lane.
Dominant. So I have to get him.
Okay, sa ako na rin.
Second pick.
Actually, I would go with Jeron dapat pero napili siya ni Sam. So, I'll get a point guard. The feeling of probably the most exciting point guard na nakuha ng Lasal.
Ooh.
And his name is Mike Cortez. The Cool Cat.
Cool Cat.
Yeah, Cool Cat.
I would have hoped hindi niyo maalala si Mike.
Actually, thanks to the UAAP
How do you not remember Mike
channel,
Cortez?
Pero yeah, na-refresh yung memory ko with Mike Cortez. Very accurate ang Cool Cat. Maliksi. Tapos the face is hindi nagbabago. Ang hirap-hirap na ginagawa niya. Pero wala, tuloy lang, laro lang. Tapos ang galing-galing talaga.
So galing. Yeah, I remember him.
Suave.
Suave niya. And
Suave. Oo.
he should have, I'm a Atenista tayo, Sam. We knew Enrico Villanueva won the MVP 2002. But Mike Cortez was the MVP. I mean, yung medyo, I think that's the start, Sam, of when they started making the MVP based on statistical points. Because
Statistics.
because
Okay.
Mike Cortez was voted out of being MVP because si Enrico, I think that was the last season they were making the coaches and the media vote for MVP. And they made Enrico Villanueva MVP because
Right.
may
Last year
konting
na rin ni
narrative.
Villanueva.
May konting narrative dun eh.
Di ba?
The past 2 years, si Rich Alvarez. Yeah, yung last year na yun. The past 2 years, si Rich Alvarez nag-MVP. Pero dapat si Enrico. He was the stats leader in MVP for 2000 and 2001. But he got suspended in one game for both seasons. At may rule nun sa UAAP. If you get suspended,
Bawal masuspend.
you can't be awarded the MVP. So parang na-disqualify siya sa MVP. So may konting narrative in that race for Nico Bello. But that should have been Mike Cortez's MVP. Sobrang galing niya noong 2002 season nung wala na si Rendon Netualo yung in Lasal. Grabe. Mike Cortez.
Sige. Yeah, cool cat.
So-
Sobrang bad trip pa nung magkampi si Renren at si Mike Cortez. Grabe, sobrang lakas nila.
Very
Cheat code
explosive
sila,
yung
diba?
backcourt.
Cheat code.
Oh,
Cheat code.
Tsaka perfect
sige,
yun
so
play
recap.
with the yung playing style nila na point guard talaga si Mike. And then solid shooter as mentioned si Renren.
Yeah.
Actually,
Kiling.
I think may nabasa akong article nga. Nasabi ni Renren, for him, best point guard sa Lasal daw was like Mike.
I think he still is.
Okay.
He has a
Feel
legit.
ko meron talaga.
Kasi yung skills niya
Sige,
are way
quick
beyond
recap.
his years. Anyway, go. Quick recap.
Sige, quick recap. So, after 2 rounds, Apo, Ben Embala, and Mike Cortez. Ako, I got Renren and Jeron Teng. Gab has JV Casio and Justin Baltazar. Okay, so mix of
Parang na-turn on
strategies.
ako, Sam, sa think about Mike Cortez then throwing alley-oops to Ben Embala. Feeling ko tayo na tayo.
Papogian na lang. Papogian na lang.
Mike Cortez, Ben. Siya pa yung next pick.
Na-mention
Siya yung next pick.
na-mention to ni Gab nung UP episode nyo, yung most important sa lineup is the point guard and center, which I agree. So, ito ang una kong kinuha.
Imagine ko lang, si Mike Cortez mag-drive, tapos i-alley-oop lang niya kay Ben Embala. Tapos na yung laban. Okay.
Okay.
Well, seventh
As if
pick.
hindi pa sobrang daya nung team ni Apo, si Apo pa rin ang mag-first pick sa third round. So, go ahead, Apo.
Okay, for my next pick, surprise to sa inyo and some people, pero one of my favorite Green Archers ever, I'm picking Jason Perkins.
Wow!
I love this guy. guy.
Oh my God! Ba't mo kinuha? Siya na yung pick ko! Lefty! Patrick! Hindi ka na-expect. Alam mo, pinipili ko kanina si Perk or si Teng, pero feel ko, hindi niya naman ipipick si Perkins agad. So, si Teng na muna. Patrick. Okay. Go ahead, Apo. Bakit si Lefty?
Go ahead.
So yeah, nung pagpasok ko sa Lasal, siya yung starting 4 guy. And then, sakto pa sa system nun, si Coach Juno just installed. Mahilig mag-post game. And kaya na-develop din yung post game ni Evo. And then si starting 4 mo si Jason Perkins, which was very strong nung time na yon, nung malaki pa talaga siya. Almost Zebo-ish. And he had the jumper.
Perfect comparison. Yes.
So,
and he extended his range eventually.
Yeah.
Especially now in the PBA, he's a very consistent 3-point shooter. Galing.
Actually, kahit naman yung sa Lasal, nagtetress siya eh.
Yeah, may timely threes din. Tsaka sobrang sipag nito. Usually, siguro mga gabi, training ng Archers. And then after that, he would train with Team B. Ganun siya kasipag.
Damn. Oh my God.
Wow.
So considering yung size
grabe
niya,
motor.
kinakaya pa rin niya.
Yeah.
And he got
Yeah.
slimmer.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy na hindi taba, he's not fats, yung bulk niya. Alam mo talaga siksik with muscle and all that mass. And you can see from the way he plays na whoever his matchup is, hirap na hirap sa kanya because he's so big and so skilled. He's not just big, he's so skilled talaga. His post moves are so good. Ang galing ng post moves niya. Perfect example yung Zebo na comparison. Tamang-tama. Zebo talaga.
I have to say, I think si Hefty Lefty ang favorite Lasal player ko of all time. Like, para siyang ang Zebo or nung time na yun, parang Draymond Green role siya eh. Yung parang undersized big na medyo may playmaking din siya eh, if I remember correctly. Tapos yun nga, he stretches the floor, so okay. And sobrang sipag niya rebound. Like, I cannot question his motor. Unlike Zebo na medyo minsan tinatamad. Ito, wala. Sipag nito.
Sam.
Nasira yung ano.
ako, nasira na yung board ko.
Teka lang. I need time to recalibrate. Sira yung board ko. Bad trip ka, Apo. Sino pa ba natitira dito?
Oy, yung marami namang player ang Lasal, pare.
Marami. Pero yung mga favorites ko nasira eh. Sige. Shoot. This is tough. Pero bahala na. I'm going small ball. Like super small ball ako. Feel ko I can't let go of this talent at this round eh. So I think I have to go with Richie Rivero. DLSU Richie Rivero. So super dominant player din. Sobrang suwabe gumalaw. Ibang klase. Of course, that patented Eurostep ni Richie. And he was a really good 3-point shooter din nung time na to. Feel ko hindi siya sobrang daming tumira ng tres nung time na to. I think nung UP, not sure, baka because of the way they played, parang masyado siya naging trigger happy sa tres nung nasa UP siya. And marami din kasing talented players dun sa UP. So, yun. But like, when he was with Lasal, burat na burat ako sa kanya pag kalaban namin siya kasi bad trip, ang galing niya eh. Ibang klase din talaga. Hirap bantayan eh. Lumilipad pa. Dami yung mga highlight plays. So, yeah, I'm going with Richie. Parang puro pure scorers kami. Ren, Richie, Jeronteng. Bahala na. Bahala na sa loob.
To your point, Sam, yeah, Lasal Richie is way better than UP Richie. Nung nasa Lasal si Richie, sobrang ibang klase yung hunger niya and his aggressiveness was off the charts. Kasi bakit niya sa UP yung nag-die down na lahat.
Naging pogi na lang talaga.
Totoo yun na po. Naging pogi na lang talaga si Richie.
Oy, pero leading kami sa papugian ha. May Richie kami, may Jeron kami ha.
Okay, so it's my turn and
back to back.
Sirang-sira na ang aking board dahil kay Apo. Okay, so I think I'm gonna need some size to combat Perkins and Mbala front line. And yeah, I'm confident in this pick. I'm gonna go with the rookie Mike Phillips.
Bad trip. Okay.
Okay, Sam, mahubusan ka na ng bigs dito. We've talked about Mike Phillips throughout this whole pod, Sam, and I think you have to agree that we've seen enough of Mike Phillips for him to earn a spot in one of our first fives in this fantasy draft. So active, reads the Bible. Or hindi mo alam yung Apo, yung kanyang hobby, Bible study.
Bible study.
Yung sila ni Ben Phillips, Bible study sila, man. So, very active, has a lot of room to grow, and I'm sure you're very excited, Apo, as to the
Yeah,
future
very
of
excited. Very
Lasalle
good. Tsaka
for Mike Phillips.
ma-maximize niya yung 4 or 5 years niya. Tapos, yung first year pa lang nag-mythical na. Solid to.
Yeah, nga pala. He was a part of the Mythical Five. Ano yun? Grabbed 26 ba yun? 26 rebounds against UE? Crazy. Who gets 26 rebounds in a UAAP game? No one gets 26 rebounds in a UAAP game. Offensive game still pretty raw. But I'm counting on his size. What is he? 6'10"? 6'10", 6'9"?
Yeah, very athletic.
Yeah, very athletic. I like my Baltazar Phillips front line. We've seen it work. We've seen them get 20 rebounds each. So I'm very confident in that. Just on that defensive start. Sa offensive Balti na bahala. Okay. So next, for my next pick. Now this is the hard one. For my next pick in this draft, sige, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Kib Montalvo. Again, this is one of the guys that I hate watching. But I am gonna pick him because he's a solid defender. So solid. Sobrang solid na defender.
Na-unleash siya when pumasok si Aldin Ayo installing Mayhem.
No?
Yeah.
Sobrang na-unleash talaga si Montalvo. Nakita yung speed niya and yung hustle. Yeah, called Man of Steel once.
I think in one game he had 8 steals against Ateneo. I remember that. In one game he had 8 steals. Who the hell gets 8 steals? And yung kalaban mo si Matt Nieto. So, hindi ko makaka-8 steals kay Matt Nieto. So, crazy. And I also hated him because palagi siya nagre-reklamo. Obvious naman na foul ka, bro. Ba't mo lang, ganun siya, parang, wala mo lang. You hit his, you hit his ribs.
No?
No, mapa-inosente ka. Tinamaan mo na mukha. Ano ka ba, Kib? But I hate him, but I gotta appreciate him. So I'm gonna pick him. And he's gonna be my point guard in this team. He's the Gilas point guard now. He's the new Chot Reyes Wonder Boy. Chot Reyes loves him. So, Kib Montalvo. That's my point. I think I'm very solid defensively. Kib can cover for JV. JV's not that much of a defender, but I think Kib can cover for JV in this lineup. Sam.
Okay. Obviously, I have to get a big man, pero
No shit.
I'm embracing my small ball mentality. So, ito, big man siya, pero stretch big. Quiet guy. Became the star of the team, I would say, during his last year, pero was still a very quiet leader. Pero sobrang solid nung, medyo awkward yung tira nung guy na to eh. May weird, parang, ano ba doon? Parang semi-hook siya or something. Pero may shooting din siya. So, for me, one of my favorites then, definitely, Santi Santillan.
Yeah. He was my backup to Mike Phillips. Sabi ko, if someone was gonna get Mike Phillips, I'm gonna get Santi. Very underrated, di ba?
Yeah, underrated. Actually, I love
Super.
this pick then.
Super. Hindi kasi siya flashy player. And I think, nag-champion ba si Santi? Nag-champion naman.
Hindi,
Yeah,
actually,
hindi ba?
Hindi siya champion. Actually, sayang din.
Nung Ben
Kasi
Mbala first championship, he wasn't there?
He wasn't there. Second year niya, Mbala siya pumasok.
Oh,
Yeah. Actually, sayang.
Okay.
Sayang kasi grabe to yung hustle eh. Sobrang sipag talaga. He deserved one.
Yeah.
Tsaka
And
may move siya na yung sure ball eh.
Yung one hand.
yung one-handed
One hand niya
shot niya from the free throw
na
line.
parang
Yeah.
hook. Oo. Sure ball
And
eh.
he plays so well that Coach Tab praises him after every game. Whenever Ateneo
Yeah,
plays
actually, I
Lasal,
remember that.
he's effusive in his praise for
Mhm.
Santi. Sabi niya, Santi Santillan, I would love to have him on my team. Kasi I think he's the type of guy that Coach Tab wants in his team. You know, yung Coach Tab,
Once.
yung mga forwards niya, like
Stretch
Will
for...
Navarro, stretch for Will Navarro, Vince Tolentino, and Rafi Verano. I think he's the type of stretch four that Coach Tab wants.
Oo nga,
Galing.
nakalimutan ko yun. Pero I remember that nga. I love this guy. Quiet guy. Not your typical Lasal, pogi
Yeah,
guy.
totoo.
But,
Medyo sobrang humble din na to.
You
Humble,
find these
humble.
gems in Lasal once in a while.
Once in a while.
Once in a while, you find these gems of Lasalians.
Okay, Apo,
Go
ikaw
Apo.
naman.
Go Apo.
It's okay. Okay, so meron akong 5-1-4. So actually, surprising na hindi pa siya nakukuha. Or baka hindi ko lang narinig. Si Mac Cardona, hindi pa siya na-pick.
Di ba?
So, yeah.
Bad trip
Di ba?
ba? Alam mo, GG na talaga to. GG na. Bigyan mo na kay Apo yung
Sa two-guard.
championship.
Pero ayun, nung nag-start ako maglaro ng basketball, it's mostly floaters. Kasi maliit ako eh. And then, may nagsasabi, parang, Cardona. Sabi, Cardona? Sino si Cardona? Then I watch this game, parang, floaters talaga. It's like, even outside the paint, floater.
And actually, he's not that bad of a shooter. If you think about it, even though his
actually.
his shot,
Yung sa likod.
that's how he shoots, but it goes in. Crazy. Okay, why I didn't pick Mac Cardona? Because he annoys the hell out of me. He's the prototypical Lasal. Stereotypical Lasalian. He's not one of those gems.
Yeah, I love Mac din. Favorite ko din yung shot na yun. I used to try to copy that shot. Pero sa akin kasi yung memory ko of Mac talaga is yung sinupalpal siya 2 beses ni Larry Fonasher. So medyo tainted na yung vision ko of Mac. Parang kaya naman pala i-block yung tira niya. Wag na yan. Ganyan. Pero solid yun, solid.
Oh my God, Mac.
Sige, so recap. Just a quick recap. Okay, so far, si Apo GG na, Embala, Cortez, Perkins, Cardona. I have Ritualo, Teng, Rivero, Santillan. So medyo maliit kami. Then Gab has Casio, Balti, Phillips, and Kib Montalvo. Hey, so Apo, 5th pick. Tama? 5th player.
Yeah, to finish my first 5.
Right.
Very talented guy, kaso played only 1 year with Lasal, so sayang. One and done. Jamie Malonzo is my next pick.
Oh.
Shit! Bad trip. Akala ko hindi
He
ka
was
makakuha.
really good, sayang yung 1 year lang talaga siya. Meron siyang 3 points, very athletic. First game niya sa UAAP, nag-dunk siya
Over 30. Yeah, I remember. And 30 was you just nodded, parang. This guy's so athletic. But I have a question lang. May only question mark with Jamie Malonzo. But he doesn't give it his all on defense.
Ay, actually, medyo sayang. Kasi very athletic siya, di ba? Parang could be more. Tapos he has the length then.
Yep. He has the length. Can shoot, but very inconsistent also. Now in the PBA, I've watched him a few times. He's developed more of a shot, 3-point shot, yung more consistent. So, yeah. What could have been if he had stayed in LaSalle for 5 years, no? 1 year, in 1 year, medyo mahirap na you get all that development in just 1 season. In 14 games, plus he was playing with Jeron? Or no?
No, hindi. Tsaka new coach din yun when he entered.
Oh,
Tatlo
Brad
nga
Bird.
yung, Coach Bird. Tapos tatlo yung one and done namin. Parang very questionable, pero fine. At least nakuha si Malonzo.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 years.
that was the weird Lasal year, I feel
Weird
like.
lang sa
Weird
Keyshawn
coaching
Meeker. Parang,
decision. Oo, tapos sina Keyshawn.
Keyshawn!
Naalala ko,
It's not fun. Oh, I didn't fun.
naalala
He
ko,
wasn't.
Apo, office mates tayo
napag-usapan
nung
natin
time na
to.
to.
Napag-usapan natin
Tapos
to.
mapag-usapan natin, tapos sinasabi ko sa'yo, sino ba tong mga one and done nila? Parang hindi naman ganun kagaling other than Malonzo, di ba? Tapos burat na burat
None
ka
of them
din.
are playing. None of them
Yeah,
are playing.
si
Super
Keyshawn
hype.
di
They
halos
were
siguro.
super hype.
Kasi tatlong, Phil-Ams from the US, tapos tatlong one and done. Diba? Parang hype
Si
talaga.
Lapot
Kasi
yung isa, di ba? Lapot.
Tsaka biglaan Kasi tinitingnan naman yung lineup ng Lasal, parang, okay, medyo mahina. And then, nagpasok ng tatlong one and done. Oh, shit, baka malakas to. Tatlong Amerikano.
That's what nangyari.
Bad
Si
trip.
Malonzo lang.
Well, Jimmy Malonzo.
Alright,
Okay,
so
my turn.
Sam, I'm interested where you're gonna go with this. Because you need a big. There's still some decent
Pare,
bigs
small
here.
ball.
Oh
Small
my,
ball
what?
tayo. Small ball.
What?
Small ball. Si Santi na sentro namin. Sa labas lang kami. Wala na kaming pag-asa dyan kay Ben Embala tsaka kay Mike Phillips. Lahat kami sa labas. 5 out ang lineup namin. Ang laro namin, 5 out.
So who are you going with? Tama yan, Sam. Sinong
Dalawa
guard
pick ni
kukunin?
Gab eh.
May feeling na ako sino next pick ko. Sige.
Kukunin kaya to ni Gab?
Ay, meron na siyang sinabing hindi niya
Iisip ko pa.
kukunin kahit nasa board pa.
Oo nga eh.
Oh yeah. There are some non-gem Lasalians who I will never want on my team. Never in a million years.
Actually, they're still on the board.
Feel ko hindi kukunin to ni Gab. So,
Sam,
ako na lang kukuha.
pick for your team and not to block me from picking mine. Pick for your team. Come on.
Hindi nga.
Pick
I'm not trying to block you. Don't worry. May gusto lang akong guy eh, pero yun nga worried ako baka makuha siya, pero I'll risk it. Hindi ko na muna siya kukunin. Para lang medyo may height kami. Siguro, para medyo may onting height, but still not height. Fuck! Hindi ko alam sino kukunin ko. Sige na, bahala na. Gusto ko ng Sino na ba players ko? Ren, Teng, Rivero, tsaka si Santi. Okay. So, I'm just gonna pick
Okay. May yung sa regular na draft, yung may
sige.
timer to, Sam.
Oh, sige. Meyerhofer na lang, Meyerhofer. Ba't gusto mo ba yun?
Oh, siya yung nasa picks ko!
Okay, nice. Buti na lang siya pala pinili ko.
Son of Black
Kasi inisip ko baka hindi mo ipipick eh. Pero yun, Rico Meyerhofer. Small ball kami kasi medyo stretch forward din to eh. So, I'm going with like Santi and Meyerhofer as my bigs. Pero very agile bigs.
Very
Both
agile.
can
Very disruptive
score
pag sila
from...
dalawa.
Oo. Masipag rebound, masipag block, but they can score from different positions. I like this pick. Very defensive also.
I was
Minalas
thinking
lang siya
about
kasi
that. I know.
natapat siya ang Lara, Al Husseini eh. So,
At
Yeah.
Nonoy
malayong mas
Baclao,
malaki si
who
Kawawa.
shouted in his
Nonoy Baclao.
face.
JP Eram. Wala, nahirapan siya. But I think he was a solid like big man for
Oh,
Lasal.
he was.
So,
He was
have to go with this
legendary
guy.
for being a walk-in tryout. I don't know if you know that.
Ganun ba
wasn't
yun? Hindi ko alam
recruited.
yung kwento na yun.
Yeah, he wasn't recruited or anything. He just walked in the tryouts and immediately became part of the starting lineup. As in, from
Wow, that's
I
nice.
don't know where
Actually,
he
that's
came from. Oh,
very impressive yun considering
Baka alam ni
Lasal
Apo.
na ang lakas Actually, hindi ko siya alam. Pero yun, considering Lasal nga na grabe ang recruitment, na nakapasok ka through walk-in, that's very impressive.
Walk in.
yeah. I would have picked him even if, just like him, he's not my favorite. He's not a gem. He's not a gem of Alasalian. He was pretty annoying. Was kicked out.
Good pick.
Was kicked out infamously for showing the finger. You remember that? 2008 finals? Was kicked out, I think, of game 1 of the finals for showing a finger na in standard definition that walang zoom in. Hindi tayo maka-zoom in. Hindi, alam ko talaga yun yung sweeping lash niya.
Yun yung tamang daliri.
Yung tamang daliri. But he got kicked out for doing this to the ref. And of course, in Ateneo lore, he's infamous for being shouted at by Nonoy Baclao after he got blocked. Yeah, but he won a title, I think, in 2007. Yeah, he won a title with Lasal in 2007. So I would have picked them. I was going for the active, slim bigs, Mike Phillips, Justin Baltazar, and Rico Meyerhofer would have been there. Rico Meyerhofer.
Okay ka, back to back ka.
Okay.
Hirap pala ng nasa gitna. Bad trip.
Okay, for my next pick, I need some wings, defensive wings who can shoot. And I think we've talked about him before, Sam, as a guy potentially in the Gilas program. Hopefully he will be Kurt Lohera.
Grabe, sobrang defensive ng lineup mo.
Well, defensive and some shooting. Well, I gotta combat si Apple, Ben Bala, Jason Perkins. Ang yes, may Mike Cortez as a point guard. Si Kurt Lohera bala kay Mike Cortez. We talked about it before. He has like a James Harden type game. Can shoot, a better defender than James Harden, if I may add that. But he can shoot, he can take it to the hole. And Sam, you pointed this out in one of our pods during the season. He could score 20 in this Lasal team if only he got more shots.
More minutes,
I think we saw it a few times during the season. He could really score, can take it to the hole, can shoot threes, can shoot the mid-range. So all 3 levels, he can do it, and he's a pretty good defender. He's always put on the best perimeter defender. I wish they would give him the ball more rather than Deshaun Winston. Sorry, Shawnee Winston, but give the ball. Should have given the ball more to Kurt Lohera. But yeah, Kurt Lohera as to round out my starting 5. All right. Next. For my next pick, I want to go with this guy so bad. Okay. For my next pick, I'm going to go with the prodigal son, BJ Manalo.
Wow. Okay.
Why? Bakit wow?
Nandito siya sa mga top few remaining picks ko, pero hindi ko na-expect pipiliin mo.
Same as you. I don't think mananalo tayo kay Apple by combating in the inside. We have to shoot from 3. So, I have JV, I have Kurt Lohera, I have BJ Manalo. he's also a dead-eye shooter. Was kind of overshadowed by playing with Ren, Mike Cortez, but he
Mike,
was a pretty damn good shooter. Superstar in high school.
Yeah.
It's lost in Ateneo lore now because he went to La Salle and he's very hated. But yeah, he was batchmates with Wesley Gonzalez, Enrico Villanueva, but he was the prize recruit of that batch. And he had Enrico, he had Wesley, and then Larry was the next one coming up. But BJ Manalo was that guy from the Ateneo High School program who was expected to carry the mantle of King Eagle in the seniors division, but he went to La Salle, and and that was history. And he is forever hated by every Atenean in the history of the planet. So, but he was a damn good player, damn good shooter. So, BJ Manalo is my next pick. Sam.
sabi ng pinsan ko, batchmate niya si Larry eh. So, naabutan din niya si BJ nung time na yon. Tapos sabi niya, grabe daw, minumura daw talaga ng mga tao si BJ nung naglasal siya. Sobrang bad trip ng mga tao. Imagine mo, may social media, no? Canceled siya sa
he
Ateneo.
would. Promise, Sam.
Diba? Can you imagine that?
I was there during the Ateneo La Salle games of the early 2000s when they were playing BJ. I was there in the 2002 and 2001 finals. Every time BJ would shot the ball, doon ako natuto magmura. From my titos and my dad and all his classmates shouting expletives at BJ Manalo and all the La Salle players.
Kawawa siya.
Kawawa siya. I can't imagine the torment he went through from the old Ateneo heads there who just really hated on him. But injury kind of derailed his professional career, but
naging injury prone siya. Yeah.
I thought that if he hadn't gotten injured, I thought he would have had a very successful career in the pros. All right, go ahead.
Okay, sige. Won't take too much time this time around. Best player available, still pushing for small ball and pogi points. Joseph Yo.
Yeah.
Why did you pick him?
Another guy na mabubwisit ka. Just watching him. You just really hated him. Pogi na mayabang. Sobrang yabang. Can score in different ways. Pero sobrang yabang niya.
Yeah. Ay, nakita niya kayabang, tas could back it up eh.
I'm innocent to know.
Exactly.
Apo, as a La Salle fan, did you love watching Joseph Yo? Honestly?
Well, that time kasi hindi pa naman ako La Salle yan. Pero, well, at least that time, ang saya niya panoorin. Kasi tas, sobrang ang ganda pa ng nickname niya, The Ninja, di ba? Accurate.
He had this hair. His hairdo was so annoying. And he wasn't just arrogant. He was dirty too. I think he was openly dirty. One of the players who was openly dirty. You know, there are players who are secretly dirty. You know, give a slight elbow. Shout out to Chris Chu. But Joseph Yo was openly dirty. I mean, you know, the Ateneo La Salle friendship game. Freaking clothesline Enrico Villanueva in a friendship game. Pinawian niya si Enrico. Because friendship game kasi nagkausapakan sila. Then a few years later, it was the funny part. A few years later, they were eventually teammates in
Teammates sila, di ba?
Petron
ba? Air 21? I forget.
One of those teams. But they eventually became teammates. And in my head, paano yung sila nag-uusap? Parang, bro, kung mo yung sinupak mo. But in his defense, I'll be kind of nice. He was pretty fun to watch. He was pretty good. If there's ever a guy na I think who would take the mantle as the best scorer in La Salle, it would be Mac Cardona and then him, Joseph Yo. He had shots for, you know, mga fadeaways niya from 3. Wild yung mga tira ni Joseph Yo, pero pumapasok. Sobrang heat check player siya.
Yeah.
Heat check.
So many times he just go on a heater and make score 10, 12 straight points yung at one time. Grabe. But yeah. I would have voted.
Mayabang talaga.
Mayabang.
Kasi
Even the
ano,
Lasalle is a
hanggang ngayon, kasi he had a talk with Miko Halili ata yun, tapos kinompare nila yung championship team nila versus Ben Embala and Jeron's team. Tapos sinabi niya, hey, we would beat that team. Parang sinabi ni Miko, oh talaga, sinong babantay kay Ben Embala? Tapos sabi ni Joe, oh, kaya ni Adonis Santa Maria. Sabi niya, iba talaga yung yabang.
Wow.
Sino ko si Adonis?
Kawawa naman si Adonis.
Iba talaga yung pride niya.
Grabe. At least, coming from Lasalle, sinabi niya mayabang si Joseph Yo, I'm validated. All Athenians are validated of our hate of Joseph Yo. Okay. Yung pa ba Joseph
Okay,
Yo?
Apo. Last pick for the 6th round. Then recap.
Okay. Ilan na? For next pick, well, naka-5 na ako. So, gusto ko nung 6th man-ish guy. Nag-start siya for Lasal, pero feel ko maganda rin siya for a 6th man. Si Aljun Melesio.
Yeah.
Solid.
Okay.
Solid. Bagay na 6th man yan.
Yeah, as you said, very explosive kasi yung off the dribble 3 points, kaya mag-drive to the lane. There's this one game versus Ateneo na tambak na kami nun pero si Melesio parang patayan pa rin Nagda-drive nandun si Kwame. Parang walang hiya
Yeah. Sobra. And ang tapang nitong guy na to. And again, another heat check guy. When he was on. Medyo ano lang yung size niya.
Yeah.
Undersized
was pretty
eh,
small. Undersized. Pero coming out of the UAAP Juniors program, it was him versus Jolo Mendoza. I remember that. The only problem with Jolo was that he doesn't have that much of a handle. So, and Aljon did, and that translated well into success into the seniors division because he could play point guard. Jolo could not play point guard. And we've talked about this before. Every time Jolo is in the game, opposing teams like, oh, let's target Jolo Mendoza. He's bringing up the ball, pressure that guy. So we didn't have much of a handle. So Aljon did. So, Aljun, not Aljon. Sorry. Wrong Lasallian. Wrong Lasallian.
Apo, sino ba yung MVP ng anong year ba yun?
2013.
2013.
Finals
Sino ang
MVP
ng finals?
The real King Archer, Aljon Marian.
Yo! So backstory guys, like, hinahanap before when we were preparing for this draft, hinahanap ni Apo si Aljon Mariano. Nasaan daw yung finals MVP ng Lasal nung time na yun? Aljon Mariano. Anyway, sige, just to recap. 6 players na each. Si Apo first pick, Embala, Cortez, Perk, Cardona, Malonzo, and Melesio. For me, I got Ritualo, Teng, Rivero, Santillan, Meyerhofer, and Yo. And then si Gab has Casio, Baltazar, Phillips, Montalvo, Lohera, and BJ Manalo. Okay? So
for those
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players to go.
For those who are viewing this podcast, tell us who you think is winning. We obviously think Apo is running away with this. But tell us what you think. Is Apo really the winner of this fantasy draft?
Beginner's luck. Beginner's luck.
Benimbala pa lang talaga wala tayong laban. Anyway, Apo, next pick.
So, gusto ko nung wing naman ngayon. And I think this guy, well, back in UAAP could cover 1 through 4. Won a championship. This guy is Ryan Aranya. Another famous pick by Gab.
Ito talaga yung sobrang bad trip na player. Like, this is my hatest LaSalle player ever. Like, out of all the LaSalle players, ito talaga. Like, I wanna punch his face. Yung ganong type of hate na talaga na
I hated this
nakakainis talaga
guy.
tong guy na to.
I hated this guy with all of my blue blood inside my veins. I hated this guy. I have no good things to say about this guy.
Oo nga. Apo, ikaw na lang magsalita. Bakit
Ako na lang, wala na akong
Wag namin.
Well, to defend my pick, well, ayun, si Ryan Aranya could cover 1 through 4, very shifty, tas left-handed pa siya, so additional yun sa pagan tricky niya. And then, ayun, could get to the rim, can hit timely shots. Yeah, I like this guy. Tas, yeah, he had the attitude.
Yeah.
I
And I think
Very
to be fair
iconic
to,
na yung sayaw niya.
part
yung
naman
sayaw,
ano?
yun talaga.
Yeah,
Bad trip.
I was gonna bring this up. Part ba kayo ng Animo Squad na sumayaw nung halftime ng dance ni Ryan Aranya? Or
Ay,
wala ka pa lang? Wala ka pa lang.
Wala pa. Wala
Good,
pa si Apo
good,
noon. Wala pa
good.
si Apo noon.
good. Back in the days where cheerleading was trash talking.
Yeah, true.
Oh, you remember this? If anyone was from the Animo Squad, I'm sure you all remember this. You were all in a line in half court. Tapos you took off your jerseys as you started dancing with the balls, all of you. Oh God, talk about non-sportsmanlike.
It was different talaga yung mga halftime natin.
Back in the day. Although it's no excuse din naman from our end. I mean, we did the whole arrow thingy through the neck thingy to LaSalle. Well, I wasn't part of it, but my seniors were. So yeah, back in the day. But I have nothing more to say about Ryan Aranya. Go ahead, Sam. I hate this guy.
No, I just wanted to say na you can really tell na ang legit na magaling din talaga si Ryan Aranya because his game translated in the PBA. Not everyone who's really good in the UAAP translates well in the PBA. But si Ryan Aranya, he wasn't the superstar, diba? Hindi naman siya yung superstar nung LaSalle. He was just this solid starter for LaSalle, solid player for LaSalle. Pero his game translated in the PBA. And I think that says a lot about his game na magaling din talaga siya and he can really play well even with like professionals na, mga pros na. So yun lang masasabi ko. But I hate this guy, especially the dancing. Sige, for me next pick, since I got Joseph Yeo as my 6th player, siguro I'll just try to get a big man finally na medyo legit big man naman. But I think for me, yung big man, important pa rin na medyo may shooting. Kasi nga ilalabas namin si Big Ben tsaka si Mike Phillips para hindi naman sila manupalpal sa loob. So, I'm gonna go for Norbert Torres, the Phil Canadian big man. The Bear. Nice. Again, siguro minalas, really good player for LaSalle, had decent mid-range shooting din, jump shooting. Another guy na parang minalas talaga na naatapat siya sa like panahon. Ano ba to? Panahon ni Slaughter naman ata to or something eh. So he was a really big guy, like 6'7", 6'8", but was going up against like Slaughter if I remember correctly. So medyo mahirap. Basta alam ko natapat siya dun sa years na ang laki ng Ateneo. So it was difficult for him to compete. But I like this guy. Chill guy.
Umabot pa rin naman siya sa 2013 championship. So yeah, he was the starting center.
Oo nga pala. Yeah.
All right. Good pick, Sam. He was supposed to be my next pick. Just saying. Because I'm gonna need some size. But thankfully...
Niisip ko nga kung Meyerhofer or Torres yung pipiliin ko kanina eh. Kaso inisip ko nga baka kunin mo si Meyerhofer. Kaya yun na lang. Anyway, sige, go, Cap.
But thankfully, there are a lot of big men in the history of the DLSU Green Archers. And I'm gonna go with medyo mahirap tong pick na to para sa akin. But I think from his short stint in LaSalle, I think we could say that he was pretty talented. And he will make a nice addition to my team. Taani Samuel.
Oh,
May
If
stint
he-
ba siya sa Lasal?
Meron! He played!
yeah, he played a few games. Pero isa yun sa mga pinakasayang na years ng Lasal
Sayang,
kasi
no?
injured siya nun. Pero grabe ang galing din ng skill niya. He had the handle, tas
Lakas.
6'8", very heavy.
And we saw it when he played for New Zealand. Here.
Mm.
He
Yeah,
scored, 18 points against our national team? Shout out to Chotres. Alaming Taani Samuel to score 18 points against the Philippines. What? And if there's one thing I would say about Taani Samuel, he would have been the non-gem Lasallian if he had stayed in Lasal. Because in one game, I think in his comeback game against Ateneo, and he was scoring buckets. My God, the trash talk, the yabang, LaSalle poured out of him in that one game. Oh my God, yeah, Taani Samuel, shout out. It was only a short stint, only a few games, but I think he showed enough. He showed enough that he would contribute to this team. So for my next pick in this draft, I'm gonna go with another big, just to fill out my big men. I gotta go with some pretty boy here. Arnold Van Opstal.
AVO!
Talk about models. For Arnold Van Opstal, I think the idea of Arnold Van Opstal was more enticing than the on-court product of Arnold Van Opstal. I think you would agree. He had so much potential.
Yeah, pero meron siyang 1 year na solid talaga. Yung championship year, sakto rin yung pumasok si Juno nga. Yun nga, yung mahilig siya mag-post. Tapos biglang na-develop yung post-game ni Van Opstal. And sakto na rin siguro na he was probably the tallest guy nung time na yun kasi nawala na si Slaughter.
Yeah, exactly. He developed his game, but not to an extent that I think we all wanted him to.
Yeah.
Diba? You would expect him to be so dominant with his height, 6'8", 6'9", or more. His length.
6'9", very muscular.
Yeah, he's very muscular. Hence the modeling. The pretty boy look, but he was not a pretty boy on the court. He was pretty physical as well. But for me, the product that you saw in LaSalle is enough for him to come off the bench. And his length. AVO, Arnold Van Opstal. Homegrown product from LaSalle Zobel.
Yeah.
Zobel.
Go ahead,
I remember
Sam.
watching him pa sa Zobel nung time na yun. Sige. Think I'm gonna go with like one of my favorite players. So more of an emotional pick. Nice guy din. Medyo maliit lang siya, very undersized, but he found ways to score. Feel ko like kung yung Ateneo may Monfort, yung Lasal merong LA Revilla.
LA Revilla, yeah.
Super cool guy, scorer na kahit maliit finds ways to score. And ano ata siya, 'di ba? He grew up with si coach ng NU, parang siya ata yung parang nag-sponsor sa kanya to bring him here in Manila. Sino yan? Coach ng NU? Altamirano. Parang he
Si
treats
Eric.
Altamirano as like his dad. Parang ganun. Kasi siya yung nag-alaga sa kanya dito. So, good story. You should read about yung how LA Revilla was discovered din.
Wasn't he LaSalle Green Hills? Was it Green Hills ba? Green Hills then went to Beda.
So,
Beda. Ay, nalala ko yung Beda.
Alam ko, oo, yun, Beda. Pero basta it was Altamirano who sort of like took care of him when he moved here in Manila.
Very underrated. he sat out a few years, right? Because of, I think he had a heart condition or something. For a few years na
Yes,
seniors parang
yes.
he sat
Yes,
out.
parang may sakit siya or something. But came back, and he did really well then.
Yep. And one of the Lasalians that you would love because, again, just like JB Castro, he was very humble, straight face, very nice. Just play this game, let the game do the talking. Did not do much talking. Yeah, yung love this guy as
Nakabola
well.
din ng Atenista. Nakabola ng Atenista. Si Denden Lazaro, di ba? He
Denden
ended
Lazaro.
up marrying her.
Good job.
Okay,
Now you know
Apo.
you know that's a quality Lasalian when you marry an.
Quality yon. Tamang yun. Quality person yon. Pag approve sa Atenista no?
Ay, naku, na-trash talk. Sana
Okay,
hindi ko
Apo,
mapanood ng mga
next
old
pick
Lasalian.
and then recap tayo. Oo nga patay tayo dito.
Huwag mo mura-murahin tayo sa comments.
Okay, so for next pick, kulang pala ako sa big man kahit nasa akin si Ben. So I need a backup. So I'm going with Abu Tratter.
Sakto,
Abu
the
Tratter.
backup of Ben. Diba? He
Ben,
was the
oo
backup.
nga.
Nag-start sila for a few games. Parang Ben and Abu. Parang, how do you defend that? Very strong guys.
Nangyari pala yun. Hindi ko alam yun.
Yeah. Actually, sila.
Go.
There's this one lineup na loko kami na puro import lang yung Lasal. Ito si Aldin Ayo, may rin to eh.
Oh yeah, I remember this. He had Perkins.
Perkins, Abu, Ben, Julian Sargent, tsaka si Mark Dyke. Okay.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, he did. He did do this. I remember this.
Panahon ni Sinong coach?
Ni
Aldin Ayo.
Aldin Ayo.
Aldin Ayo? Seryoso?
Yeah. He did that against Ateneo. I remember.
He put in all versus UST ata.
With UST ba?
Sobrang layo na ng score. Tapos okay. Gawin natin tong all-import lineup natin.
And, you talk about all import. Mark Dyke was not an import. He grew up here in the Philippines. Yeah. Grabe ka.
I mean, kaya with quotations ka,
all import.
Alam na. Okay. Recap. After what? 7 rounds ba to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Apo, Ben Embala, Mike Cortez, Jason Perkins, Jamie Malonzo, Melesio, Aranya, and Abu Tratter. Sa akin, Retualo, Teng, Rivero, Santillan, Meyerhofer, Yo, Torres, and Revilla. Gab has Casio, Baltazar, Phillips, Montalvo, Lohera, Manalo, Samuel, and AVO. Okay, so 2 more picks to close out the draft. Apo, go with your second to the last pick.
So, with my next pick, also one of my favorite archers ever. Tas sakto na abutan ko rin siya. Big shot taker, maliit lang pero had a really good post game, mid post game, and unorthodox shot pero very effective. Almond Vosotros.
Oh, okay.
Love that guy.
I love this guy. Tsaka very emotional yung after the Mac Bello shot. Kasi last playing year niya na yun eh. Umupo lang siya ng court tapos wala na. Nawala ng buhay. Very emotional yan.
Oh yeah, the Mac Bello shot from the corner.
Sorry Apo, ang saya ko noon nung na-shoot ni Mac Bello yung tres na yun. Sobrang saya ko.
Okay, so wala yung Sam, yung iwan na tayo dito kay Apo. Okay. Your turn, Sam.
Sige, eto I'm gonna pick an energy guy. Kailangan ko ng energy guy that can hustle and try to score or defend the best player. From OG from Lasal Zobel din. Another guy that I hated nung nasa Lasal Zobel kasi sobrang dominant niya, sobrang lakas niya, tinatalo niya kami lagi. Um, I'm gonna pick Joshua Webb as my 9th pick. Lakas nito sa Zubel, grabe. Sobrang nakakaburat. Burat na burat ako sa kanya, pero solid contributor siya in college. OG Lasal. Sali din siya sa Team Pogi.
Was kind of overshadowed in his latter career in Lasal. Parang he started off, I think he was Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. He was Rookie of the Year. And
Yeah, medyo pababa yung
pababa
trajectory
yung
niya.
yung trajectory ng career niya. I think sumabay
Medyo
rin
naging
siya.
deep din kasi ata yung lineup. Oo.
I don't know kung sumabay siya kay Jeron. Sumabay ba siya kay Jeron?
I think with
For some,
rookie year ata ni Jero, nandun pa siya.
yeah, oo. So,
Pero nandun na rin sila Norbert Torres, yung kaya bumaba na rin siya sa depth.
yeah. I remember that. He started off his Lasal career on a high, then eventually bumaba with more talent yung coming in, yung more recruits coming in. Medyo na-overshadow si Joshua Webb. Okay, so for my next pick in this draft, I have 2 straight picks, so I have some room for error here. I'm gonna go with a backup point guard. I think unofficially won 3 championships. Officially won just 1 because 2. I think 1 or no 1-2 because 1 was given back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Ty Tai for my backup point
Floor
guard.
general.
Floor general, exactly. We talked about earlier in this pod the improvement of SJ Belangel from the guy you hunt down, from the guy you fear. Same trajectory, yung TY Tang. I don't know if you remember in the 2002 season, he was the backup of Mike Cortez. Well, at least from the Ateneo side, we were all laughing at TY Tang. Ipasok niyo si TY! Pasok niyo si TY! Kasi we know kabado siya, did not make the right decisions. Rookie. It's a typical rookie at that time. Made a lot of mistakes, would be pounced on by LA Tenorio and whoever guard was guarding him. Then eventually, as his career gone on, parang, huwag niyo na ipasok si TY Tang, please! Because he was so clutch also, so composed, and eventually became a slightly dirty player too. But yeah, very composed, very impressed with this guy, TY Tang. Big fan. I'm a big fan of TY Tang. TY. All right. Last pick. You have any inputs on TY? You want to say anything? While I pick my last player.
Wala naman. Solid leader, I think. So, I think if you're picking him as your 9th player, that's a really, really good pick for me.
And okay. For my final pick in our DLSU draft, I'm gonna go with Jerwin. Joke lang. No way.
Nagkakonatics.
Not in hell. Another guy that I don't like. Okay, this is an input. He had the perfect name to be hated on. Jerwin Kako. Perfect name. Anyway, for my last pick, I'm gonna go with Mark Nonoy. Heat check guy, off
Mark
the bench.
Nonoy from Lasal. Okay.
Mark Nonoy. Right, Sam, you're up next. I think my depth chart is pretty good.
I think siguro for my last pick, sobrang solid na ako sa guard position. So, maybe medyo big man yung kailangan ko. If I'm picking like a 10th guy as a big man. I wanna pick Sharma kasi may height. Played as the starting center for that team. Pero you know what? I'm gonna go someone that suddenly became relevant recently. And
Ah,
I love how he talks, how he thinks. I think he would be a really good leader to my team. The Udonis Haslem to my Miami Heat. I'm gonna go with Willie Wilson as my 10th pick.
eh.
Yeah. Ay, yun din dapat yung
Coach
kukunin kong
Willie.
last pick.
Okay.
Yung
So,
perfect
swerte.
siya as
Buti pa lang.
multi-position defender. Tapos yung kung anong gusto mo, okay, gawin mo to. He'll just do it.
Yeah. Very overshadowed in his Lasal career. But he won, what, 4 championships together with Ren. He just lost in his last year against Ateneo, but he won 4. Uh, and yeah, he played with stars like Mac Cardona, Mike Cortez, Ren, Don Aliado. So his contributions were overshadowed, but he was pretty good. Willie Wilson. Again, another guy you can't hate on from Lasal because
Yeah.
he was a workhorse, didn't talk much, wasn't dirty, and he was a gem. Yeah, I would say Willie Wilson is a gem of Lasal, and making a good career out of himself now as a commentator, the color analyst
And
for One Sports.
And I think yung favorite quote ko sa kanya nung tinanong siya, parang may tinawagan ng foul for grabbing a jersey. Tapos parang tinanong, oh, Coach Willie, did you grab jerseys nung nasa UAP ka? Yo, I'm grabbing everything I can grab when I was in the UAAP. I'm grabbing shirts, shorts, everything. Sabi niya ganun. So,
Yeah, because he was pretty small
workhorse,
and he
hard
was
worker.
playing power
He's small.
forward.
Power forward.
Pretty
PF,
small.
yeah.
So my favorite matchup was him and Rich Alvarez. I think that was an incredible. If you're a basketball nut and just like
Dirty
people
work.
boxing out, yeah, just like people fighting for a rebound. Those two were just fight for rebounds. Willie Wilson and Rich Alvarez.
May
They live
sarili
on
silang
rebound.
team eh.
Diba? They had their own game within the game. They didn't care for scoring much. They just really defended and box out. If you're a basketball nut and just want to see people box out, watch old school games of Willie Wilson versus Rich Alvarez. Okay, Apo,
Okay.
last pick.
Apo, last
Okay.
pick.
For my last pick, para meron kaming lucky charm. Minention na siya ni Gab.
Oh my God.
Jerwin Gaco. For the Gaco natin,
Yun!
i-vote niyo ako.
Gako natin.
Oh my God, he does have a fan club.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Everywhere he goes, nananalo siya ng champion. The lucky charm talaga.
What talaga?
Hindi naman everywhere, pero nag-champion na siya sa UAP, PBA, MPBL, and some other leagues.
MPBL, di ba?
Yeah, MPBL, D-League, nag-champion na siya.
Oh my goodness.
Grabe.
Wow.
Yung cabinet
I just
siguro niya, puro
Okay,
trophy.
sige.
I just remember him
Oo
for
nga, no?
being one of the most hated Lasallian players simply because of his name.
Kawawa tong guy na to. Okay. Recap of the 10 picks. Siguro before we do the recap, sige, let's do the recap and then I wanna ask you guys, like, anyone missing from the 30 picks na medyo surprising or you would have wanted to see in the top 30 or like the 30 picks. Okay, so pag-isipan nyo na yon while I do the recap. So, recap for Apo, his team is Embala, Mike Cortez, Perk, Cardona, Malonzo, Melesio, Aranya, Tratter, Vosotros, and Jerwin Gajo. For my team, it's Ritualo, Teng, Richie Rivero, Santillan, Meyerhofer, Joseph Fio, Norbert Torres, Revilla, Webb, and Willie Wilson. And then for Gab, it's JV Casio, Justin Baltazar, Mike Phillips, Montalvo, Lohera, Manalo, Samuel, AVO, TY Tang, and Mark Nonoy. Okay, so those are the picks for each team. Anyone listening, please comment sino sa tingin yung panalo. who do you think we missed out on that we should have included? Siguro Gab, Apo, one player each that you feel like we missed out on that should have been included. Maybe Apo, we can start with you.
Sa akin si Andre Karakot. Played all
Mm.
5 years, floor general. Tapos, yeah, he had 3-point shot. Sayang lang na medyo hindi talaga siya nag-excel in that mayhem system. Mas nakita natin si Kib tsaka si Thomas Torres and
Melesio.
Melesio.
Very highly recruited out of San Beda.
Mm.
And he was very celebrated when you got him.
Yeah,
I
actually,
remember that. It was big news.
Actually, yung first game niya, Phil Oil pa ata yun or PCCL sa Lasal. Tapos kalaban namin nun was San Beda. Tapos, so sakto eh. Homecoming talaga sa kanya. Tapos, it was his first game. Naka 6-3s ata siya nun. So, at
Damn.
that point,
Grabe.
ano na talaga siya, shit, all hype talaga sa
Okay. Yeah, that's a good pick. I have in my top remaining picks then. Gab, anyone?
Okay. My guy who I was surprised no one picked is actually maybe not really a guy you know much about, but Junjun Kabato. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh, big man.
Big guy, can shoot, had range for
Kasabay ba ni
days.
Gako yun?
Yeah. Kasabay ni
Diba?
Gako.
Sila?
And I really thought he was one of the key players in the 2007 championship. Wait, was he in the 2007? I think he was, yeah. He was in the 2007 championship of LaSalle and really played a big role in securing that championship. Was big, again, can shoot, can stretch, and can defend. Was a big, tough guy when in the era of the UAAP where big, tough guys were what you were looking for to recruit. I think Junjun Kabato was one of that guy. Also a guy I forgot to put into our list. Maybe some of our listeners would or watchers would realize that he's not here. Si Ferdinand. I forgot. I was looking. Where's Ferdinand? he was there for a long
yung
time.
Indonesian? Phil
Yeah,
Indonesian ba yun?
the Philippines. Yeah, so I was looking. Oh, I forgot to put in Ferdinand. Anyway, shout out to
Okay lang
Ferdinand.
Okay. Junjun Kabato, I did not expect. I don't have him on my list. Pero yeah, solid big man din siya. Sa akin, I think in the mold of Karakot, Simon Atkins. He was also like yung parang scoring guard nila nung time na yon. Para siyang Joseph Yo light. Scoring guard na medyo mayabang.
Pretty boy. You should have taken him in team Pretty boy.
Din. Oo nga eh. Similar to that, maybe like Encho Serrano, more recent player. Dami kasing scoring guards ng Lasal eh. Maraming mga hyper
Evan Nelly was left on the board.
Evan Nelly. I didn't pick him kasi 1 year pa lang siya eh. So, hindi ko pa masyado. So yeah, I think that's it. Again, please comment kung ano yung sino na sa tingin yung nanalo. Once again, thanks to Apo for joining us here today. Buti na lang sumali ka Apo na wala si Dale. Represent naman, onting representation from Lasal.
Took all of our trash talking.
Oo nga eh. Si Apo kasi yung one of the gems. One of the gems
he's a gem.
Na mabait, na hindi mayabang.
Such an honor.
Worth drafting. Oh.
Yung sana makalaro tayo ulit, Apo. You know,
Oo nga eh.
tagal na natin since last time tayo nakalaro.
Kabasketball namin yan si Apo. Pre-pandemic times. Every Mondays. Ayun, so just to end the podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the show. We'll still do more fantasy drafts. Comment nyo din down below, anong team ang gusto nyong i-draft namin sunod? Ateneo ba? UE, FEU, UST, marami pa tayong teams na pwedeng mag-fantasy draft for. No? So, just let us know. Once again, thank you. I'm Sam, this is Gab, and we have our good friend here, Apo. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Go Luzon! Recticano!